Hello everyone and welcome along to Chargers TV. We are in studio here at Swisher Hoops Academy and boy, it's great to be back here at a familiar and home venue. Ronix, Justin Bryan alongside you here, and week one of the Coles Express NBL1 South season has, well, it's still in motion at the moment, JB, but for us, from a Chargers standpoint, concluded over the weekend with the local derby. But before that, how are you?
I'm good. Tired, Ronnie. It's time of recording is Thursday night. We are heading into Easter weekend, so a big happy Easter to everyone. Safe travels no matter where you're going and what you're up to. Of course, as you mentioned, here at Swisher, and we've got a few members taking advantage of the early close, a bit of exclusivity for the members here at Swisher. But no, still some ballers about, getting some shots up, working hard before the Easter Bunny delivers the goods on Sunday, Ronnie.
Absolutely, and just before we quickly dive into the women's game from Saturday night in Ulverston, it's great to see those club banners up over on the far side over there, JB. Great to see all six cams represented here at Swisher.
Absolutely, all our South cams there, the Dominoes, the Grenadiers, the Kings, the Phoenix, Glenorchy and Southern Wolves. They are hanging loud and proud. So if you are in the South, not only can you get a chance to check out some of the Chargers Championship banners over the years, Ronnie, which are right to the left of them, to the right of the Championship banners are those big, big flags. No, another great initiative here at Swisher Hoops.
Certainly is. Well, it's been a big pre-season for the McKay Timber Hobart Chargers and their women's side, and the women were very keen to get on court, but in the end it was a bit of a doomsday device, so to speak, as the Launceston Tornadoes get the win quite comfortably. 92-53 is the scoreline. Who would have thought a round one big upset going into that game? Some of the top scorers were Lufa with 22 points, Taya Webb with 18, Olivia West with 31 points as well too for the Tornadoes.
Absolutely beasted there on court for the Tornadoes.
Meanwhile, Kayla Steindl for the McKay Timber Hobart Chargers with 20 points.
Angelique
Vinceleu. We will get. I'm going to get that by the end of the season.
Yeah, we do apologise for that, Angelique, but we will get that as well as we can.
Catching up with her next week, of course, and you can see all of that on the Chargers TV YouTube channel. She had 16 points, and then we were a little bit thin after that. Finlayson had 6, Zoe Banks had 6 as well too. JB, we were on the call for that game at Mazda BT 50 Stadium in Ulverston. Great to always be back up on the northwest coast.
Absolutely. And a big shout out, of course, to David Moore and the crew from Launceston and City Park Radio for having us on. Always good to be on the call, Ronnie.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely fantastic. What were your thoughts on the game? First match up for the McKay Timber Hobart Chargers women's side.
The Chargers, I think, if they were going to be honest with themselves, Ronnie, probably had 6 minutes of a possible 40 minutes of Chargers basketball overall. They started the game really, really strong, started hits their shots. We saw some good high-low action. Lauren Mills suiting up again for the first time in quite a number of years back from college. Got a few inside looks, some good seals, some good feeds there. Of course, Kayla Steindl back from almost 2 years after giving birth to her couple of children. Good to see her back out in the court and contributing as well. Of course, Angelique Vinceleu, 36, 48 hours off a plane, 2 transcontinental flights. She's straight into the game, really attacking the rim, really playing hard. But outside of probably the opening 3 minutes, Ronnie, if we're going to be honest here, and probably outside of maybe 3 or 4 minutes to start the third term, everything went the way of the Tornadoes. Of course, I was challenged to sneak a few little lines into the call, and a shout out to Ben Smith, I do believe, managed to get those in as well. But it was really Tornadoes basketball, and I think unfortunately as well for the Chargers, that'll be one that really went missing. Number 1, Keely Froling away at Opals Camp. Number 2, Micah Simpson, pretty much a game day out there with an injury concern, so we do hope she's okay. But it was just a lights-out affair shooting display. Olivia West, as we mentioned, 31 points. Lufa flirting with a triple-double there. Taya Webb back to elite-level basketball for pretty much the first time in 18 months. And she was hitting shots left, right and centre. And, of course, Charlie Kay, a known shooter. Macy Crawford, a known shooter. You know, they weren't necessarily firing, but they were really getting it done on transition on the other end. I mean, we talked about it on the broadcast. We called a game earlier in the week for the University Basketball League, Ronnie, and we'd seen the University of Tech Sydney play 90 feet of basketball both ends of the floor, and that's exactly what the Tornadoes did. They really pressured, they played up and in, they were out in transition on both ways, really working hard. Chargers tried to make a run in the third. They were down by 20 at halftime, got it back to 15, timeout by Sarah Veal. Bit of debate between us whether that was really, you know, a Dwayne Davey on top or Sarah Veal capitalising there, you know, with the Chargers in front or with the Tornadoes slipping. by the end margin, Ronnie, I think there was no doubt about it. It was genuinely the Tawns just regrouping. They're running over the top, big winners there. Spoke to Dwayne Davey during the week. Spoke to a few different players as well. And, I think, there obviously is a level of disappointment amongst the group and the team. They've worked really hard in the off-season. They've trained 5-6 times a week, getting their conditioning up, getting their game up, getting through their sets. Obviously, not ideal when Vince Leu comes in 48 hours out from the game. Again, like any import, they've got to adjust not only to the jet lag, but getting into the game, getting a feel for the game, all of that sort of stuff. So that really didn't play into their hand either. But on the other side of it, you've just got to think with the hard work the girls have done in the off-season, that's a real baseline performance there. That is not what you want at any point. So I suppose from a positive standpoint, they can only go up from here. But it's just unfortunate that kind of result is really where they're looking and going, geez, if this is our absolute floor and not our ceiling, could be a very interesting year here. But I think the girls can bounce back. Just a really tough game. And, full credit, again, to the Tornadoes, a really young squad, essentially, an under-22s, under-24s level squad there. Really kicked some butt, really shot well. I know from a commentary standpoint, you always want to see, as Chargers, we'd love to see the Chargers play well. But full credit to Launceston. There was a shooting display going on. Shots here, shots there. I thought little John was going to walk in the building and ask everybody for a drink. At one point there, Olivia West pretty much writing it on the score sheet herself. That's how deep it was there. So she played really well. Launceston, full credit to them. I think they're going to be right in the mix once again, Ronnie. And, tough yardstick for the Chargers, but from what I can pretty much gather, a necessary yardstick for the Chargers.
Absolutely. And I suppose here, JB, I think we can allow to announce this, seeing that...
we could be out tomorrow, though. Let's just say that I think the best way to put it, Ronnie, stick posted to our socials over Easter.
Okay, all right, JB.
There is an announcement coming, and it is a very positive announcement.
It is.
Stick close to socials. It'll be out there in the sphere somewhere. If it gets out early, then we'll roll this graphic now, and you may know the news through here. If not, check our socials out, and it will definitely be up sooner rather than later.
All right, JB. We won't
wink.
Yeah, we won't spill the beans as yet. All right, let's now to be fair. Now post game on the live stream, we've got Olivia West for a post game chat. We decided, due to the nature of the loss, we decided not to go to the Chargers camp straight after the game.
Yeah, we were looking at a halftime interview, but again, you've got to understand these teams weren't getting back, men's and women's weren't getting back until between 1 and 3 a.m. back into Hobart. So a lot of tired bodies, a lot of sore bodies. They wanted to get on the road and get moving. So there was the polite decline. And yeah, a little bit of tact from us, understanding that, after a loss like that, probably not ideal to try and get the camera and the microphone straight in the face.
Absolutely. And the makeup, of course, is we will have those players to next week in our weekly press conference. And maybe we might do a couple of side ones if need be. But if the media do their job and get the questions done, then I reckon we can roll with what the press.
No pressure, boys. Shout out to Jared and Breno and John and TJ and everyone like that. Thanks, boys.
Yes.
Greatly appreciate your support. But yes, Ronnie, that was pretty much the way the women's game went. Of course, we then had the men's game straight after that. We had, obviously, McKay Timber Hobart Chargers in Alvey taking on the Northwest Thunder, a pretty unique situation with our home openers this year, Ronnie, as we had both teams in the same building. There was a split last year, and the year before the home opener was down here in Hobart.
Yes, it was.
So we were, again, up on the road. We jumped off the commentary straight onto the social media. Bit of work here and there. Ronnie, an interesting game. Tied at half-time.
Yes.
And then the Thunder at home, fair bit of momentum. Crowd on their side. Again, another great crowd on the Northwest Coast. A really passionate basketball community, as we know. Around 900 people in the house once again at the Mazda BT50 Thunder Stadium there in Ulverston. Again, big third quarter. Really applied the pressure in the fourth quarter and managed to run away with the win, of course, 80-70 for the Northwest Thunder. Joe Chilcott, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists and big shots there. Venky Joyce, the big signing for them in the off-season, and he showed why he was a big off-signing for them. 17 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, couple of nasty dunks too, might I add. Beyonce Daniels, 15 points as well, and Kai Savage, again, owed an apology last week. And after that performance, if I ever forget your name again, I deserve a slap across the chops. 14 points, big contributions off the bench for him, of course, for your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers, leading the way. Devon Watson had a really solid start to his NBL1 career. Of course, Ronnie, 18 points, 4 rebounds and 1 assist there. Geordie Hargrave with a solid double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Sam McDaniel flirted with that double-double as well, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Jacob Richards, a unique stat line, 2 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds. And you also had Ollie Angustin with a bit of foul trouble, 10 points and 4 rebounds there. And Ronnie, we always anticipate how this game's going to go, always anticipate how imports and players are going to be. How did you see the game pan out in, what was an electric crowd right through to the final buzzer?
Well, the game lived up to expectations, JB. I mean, great crowd, as you mentioned, at the base of BT50 Stadium, and also to the Chargers, just finding their way throughout that first half. I thought it was a really good first half. It was neck and neck. It was kind of at times shot for shot, and both teams were feeling each other out. For both teams, their first hit out of the entire season and the year as well too. Just remember, the Chargers have had no pre-season games, nor has the Thunder. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it played out. And in that second half, it just opened up a little bit. Once Thunder just got that little gap or buffer, they were in the box seat. And then the Chargers got a little bit tired towards the end. I think with Devon Watson, I think if you give him some more match fitness, he'll be ready to go, and I think he's going to be an exciting player for this league. There's no doubt about that. And then Angustin with foul trouble is always a concern because he's that main provider in that low block, JB.
And Venky Joyce really provided that big matchup for him, a big guy that's going to go at Ollie and really pressure him. So a good litmus test for Ollie, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's a good point as well too to see where Ollie's at, and a really good matchup. That was an exciting matchup for the entire night because they were both going at it. They traded dunks at one stage, which I thought was sensational. And I thought the youngsters for the Chargers that come in did their bit. A little bit more learning experience, I think, on the run here as well too. But I have no doubt they will do much better. I think a big key here too, they really missed Stewie. Now this is not a dig at Matt Bennell. I thought Matt Bennell done a fantastic job as the acting head coach on Saturday night.
But it's a big adjustment, 48 hours from a game, to find out, hey, you've got the assistant coach as your head coach for the evening.
Absolutely. So I thought Matt done a terrific job. And the players responded to him as well too. Well respected within the playing group as well. So the players did listen. It was just some bad turnovers in that second half that really cost them. And at times a couple of interesting shot selections as well too. But nonetheless, I like what I see from this squad. There's still Jared Bairstow to come in. I think
Zach White didn't play in that game there.
Zach White is still to come in as well too. So you've still got a couple of pieces in this lineup. So I think once we're at full strength, JB, this team's going to be really hard to stop.
Absolutely. And I mean, we talk about the impact of McDaniel coming in, Ronnie back into the team, Bairstow coming back into the team, Watson into the team, probably a bit, a few more minutes obviously this season going to the likes of a Hargrave and certainly Jacob Richards once again. It was, from an observation standpoint, and I don't know how you feel about this, it was a team that, we've got pieces to come back in, but I didn't feel that the team really got out of second gear. I felt it was one of those games where, they took their spots, they really capitalised on their moments, they showed some really good poise, but just seemed that, that home advantage there of the Thunder, who were firing really well, and Nick Hayward actually mentioned post-game there, that's one of the better starts that he's had with this Thunder group to the start of the season. Do you feel that the team not necessarily skated, but certainly it was more of a scouting game than it certainly was, we're getting the 4 points, we're getting the W here? They
seem flat at stages. You're right. I feel like, yes, at times they were second gear going into third gear, but never went any higher than that. So I think as well too, as a team, I think maybe a more filling out process. I mean, again, it's a newish look team, not new, but new enough to go, okay, well, we have to work this out now. And Devon was only in the state for a few days. That's still probably not enough time leading into your first home game. So I feel now the next couple of weeks, they should be right, but hopefully we won't see that performance where they're flat in pieces of that game. The Thunder crowd did play a factor. I think, Trey Armstrong and Joe Chilcott, who we spoke to post-game, were really in agreement there with each other that, that crowd can give them, a few points here and there and really spur them on. So I think, like any home venue, JB, the home crowd's always going to lift your morale and really boost the team. So, you got to expect that. So I think for going into the road trip next week, which we'll preview next week, it's going to be really interesting to see how they come together. Does Zach White come back into the lineup? We feel that Jared Bairstow will be
close to it.
If not, he'll be available for the first home game doubleheader in 2 weeks' time. There's a few things I think we need to look at, and then we can reassess from there.
Of course, post-game, we did manage to get a couple of interviews. If you want to check out our interviews with Joe Chilcott and Trey Armstrong, head over to our Chargers Hoops TV. But we'll give you a quick snippet. We caught Devon Watson post-game and, of course, stepping in as acting head coach, lead assistant head coach, Matt Bennell.
Yeah, I think we could have had a better second half. I think we should have kept our legs. Our legs is getting a little shaky under us, but I think we competed in the first half. I think we just need to have a better second half.
Their execution was really great, and as our guys got tired, our execution fell away. We didn't get the ball through enough hands, and we started. We went to try and make some, attack with using our advantage, which was our bigs, but every pass was just a second and a half too late.
So the thoughts there from acting head coach Matt Bennell and, of course, Chargers import Devon Watson. Great to see them both fronting the camera post-game. Now, you can keep up to date with all the goings on here at the McKay Timber Hobart Chargers by following us on our social media, which we have been putting out there, JB, like left, right, centre, like no tomorrow. You can give us a like on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, too, where you can see this show and post-game interviews from last week, along with all our other stuff as well, too. So keep up to date with all the goings on here for your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers. Now, JB, before we wrap up this show, we've got a small kind of plug to give here because, as always, school holidays are in full swing now here in the south or in Tasmania in general, but we have some clinics coming up that we need to tell you about. JB.
Absolutely. So we will have details up on the screen right now. You can check them out there. We will be having camps and clinics at both the Warrane Stadium and the Hobart Sport and Netball Centre, the home of the McKay Timber Hobart Chargers for the 2023 Coles Express NBL1 South season. And you will have a chance to be checking out all our imports, our women's imports, our men's imports, and of course, and this is a big one, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Big signing in the NBL free agency in the last week, and that is Sam McDaniel. He has signed with the Brisbane Bullets, so this very well could be for Chargers fans and basketball fans throughout the state one of the last times that you may get a chance to hang out and chill out and play hoops and shoot hoops with the one and only Sam McDaniel before he heads off to the Brisbane Bullets. So we really encourage everyone to get along there. And you're learning from the pros, you're learning from people that not only play pro in Australia, but play professionally as a living. And I think that's something that we probably don't spruik enough, Ronnie, that the imports aren't just players that come in and they play in the NBL one season and they go home and sit on the couch for 9 months. No, they come in here. This is part of their job. Of course, you know, you talk about Angeliki and you talk about Devon.
Yes.
You know, they're playing left, right and centre all year round. So, you know, it's a good chance to learn the art of being a pro and not only getting a job, but keeping a job and being professional and staying, you know, on the tip of everybody's tongue and right on everyone's radar with that. So get along, check everything out. And, of course, Ronnie, the big factor out of all of this, if you come to the clinics, you do get a voucher for a free ticket to a Chargers home game. So big kicker there. Not only do you get to hang out with the players, not only do you get to learn from the best, but you get to come and sit courtside and watch the best in action as well. So we encourage everyone to get along, have some fun, really enjoy themselves, interact with your favourite local players pretty much. Enjoy what Chargers basketball is all about. So, again, details on screen. Check all of that out. And, again, it will be on our socials. Spots will go quick. We do encourage that. There won't be any holds. There won't be any on-the-day sort of sales. Get online, book in, get your ticket, everything like that. It's going to be massive. It's going to be fun. And, you know, that's going to be great for the school holidays. Good way to burn all that chocolate that the Easter Bunny will be bringing you, no doubt, in a few days' time.
Correct. And if you're very lucky enough, there may be an appearance from Rex the Rhino as well, too. So who knows, JB?
That's going to be big.
That could be massive.
Rex has been keeping that gym body in shape ever since COVID. And, the last thing we want is Rex free roaming on Easter chocolate there, Ronnie. So he's going to he's going to need to work out himself. He's going to need to keep himself in check. But, yes, Rex the Rhino, very, very very keen,
Yes,
from what I've heard, Ronnie, to get involved.
Absolutely. We look forward to that clinic coming up over the school holiday break. That is for sure. Well, it is Easter time, and a very happy Easter to you and your family and loved ones. It's going to be obviously another fantastic weekend of, Easter egg hunting, Easter dinners, fish, hoops. I mean, hell, we've got people here right now, as you mentioned at the top of the show, JB.
Absolutely. We've got members left, right and centre here at Swisher, and it is members only for the weekend there. So, everyone that's registered, can come on in and enjoy a bit of free space, a bit of downtime as well. Of course, we mentioned the hoops that are going on. MBL1 is still running all across the country. The NBA is wrapping up the regular season. A lot going on there. Of course, a lot happening in Chargers land that we're trying to, cover left, right and centre. But no, a lot going on, Ronnie. A lot of hoops. Yep. Everything going on. Again, for us, going to take a bit of a break. I know I'm off to Launceston, probably chill out at home. I know you're heading down west again.
Yes, I am.
For a weekend. So a lot going on. A well-earned and deserved break, I say, Ronnie. And I mean, we'll come to you back again next week. We'll have announcements left, right and centre. We'll have media left, right and centre. Of course, we'll preview the road game as well. That's going to be massive. And then, of course, we get ready to roll on in for our first home game, April 21st and April 22nd at the Hobart Sport Netball Centre.
Details to come over the next couple of weeks. What a big week it's going to be in basketball here, basketball fans and Chargers fans. It's going to be a big week next week as well too, with everything that we've got ready to go to pump out and who we're going to put to the media as well too. It is all stations go here, JB.
I would suggest that for all our socials, where you can follow, set that notification bell because your phone is going to be ringing like someone's got a serious emergency call for you. There's a lot of content coming from the crew here at Chargers TV.
Like, share and subscribe. And on that note, we will sign off here from Swisher Hoops Academy. On behalf of Justin Bryan, I'm Ronald Riggs. We will see you next week here on Chargers TV.